Well, there you are. Joining me in the studio right now is the #1 Toop&Toop salesperson for the year, Len Allington. How are you, Len?
Very well, thanks, Tim.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Good.
Yeah.
Len, to get our chat underway, why don't you give me a little bit of a background on yourself and how you got into real estate, family, kids, all that sort of stuff.
Sure. Well, I'm a Golden Grove boy. I have been for most of my life.
Yep.
And was involved with a family business in Golden Grove.
Mm-hmm. Bit of an iconic one.
General store, Allington's
Yep.
at Golden Grove. So
Yep.
it's going back all the way back to the 70s, late 70s. So.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in the area for quite some time, and then decided to go into a real estate career in '91.
Mm-hmm.
So started with an agency out there, and been in real estate ever since. So.
Okay. And family?
Yes, I have a wife, Julie, and
Yep.
we have 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
2 still at home, but the other 2 in other endeavours. One overseas and one interstate. So. Yeah, and 2 grandchildren, so overseas, unfortunately. But
oh, well, that's a good excuse for some travel, I guess.
It is, yes, and we certainly will take more use of that in the future, I think, too.
Good. So 11 years Toop&Toop have been at Golden Grove.
That's correct.
Obviously, you having been in Golden Grove since the 70s, would have seen it emerge from basically paddocks to what it is today.
Yeah, it's certainly been that, Tim. I remember riding motorbikes as a youngsters through the paddocks. Now we're selling homes in Spring Hill there. So yes, it's a complete transformation.
For those people perhaps who aren't au fait with Golden Grove, obviously it started way back with some development and has grown. Give us a little bit of an overview, because you've been very much involved in it right from the start. Sure.
Certainly. Back in '86 was really when they scratched the first ground for Golden Grove as a development.
Yep.
The developer Delphin back then,
yep.
Who I worked for about 5 years.
Okay.
That's when they first started in the area, and
mm-hmm.
And basically went on from there. So. Working in the area now, it's good to see it from the ground up, and knowing the various different areas of where the developments happen.
Unsurpassed knowledge, one might say.
Yeah, well, it's certainly come in handy, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm interested always with developments like that. How did it start? Did they start with a shopping precinct, or schools, or both, and then expand from there?
Well, it was a planned development. There's no doubt about it, and won an award in '98, an International Real Estate Federation award for world's best address at the time.
Okay. Yes,
there was a lot of airplay on that.
Yep.
But yes, it was a planned development. A lot of infrastructure was put in place, but it was based on a series of villages. Each village had its own little park, shopping centre, and infrastructure there. So it was based on that, and a planned development right from the beginning. It was 10,000 homes, about 30,000 people. So yeah.
The thing that always strikes me when you drive into Golden Grove through some of the major access roads is it's beautifully landscaped, and they obviously spent a lot of money with some of the rocks and the verges and all that sort of thing to create a really lovely environment before any houses were built.
Sure. It's something you do actually realise when you're driving, you're coming from off McIntyre Road onto the Golden Way. Mm-hmm. You know you're in a planned development, and just the way they've picked the various different shrubbery and bushes and that sort of thing, and just the way it's actually laid out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess as important, your success for the year, and I know you've been particularly successful for most of the time, but what's the secret to the success over the last few years?
Look, I don't think there's any secret, Tim. I think it's really just a matter of putting yourself out there and putting the hours in. Helping people, helping them in their move, giving them the right advice, and using your knowledge and experience to get them on their way and make sure they're getting the best, the best result they can possibly get.
Okay. I know that you work very hard, of course, because that's 15 open sometimes on weekends and that sort of thing. There's not a lot of spare time after that. But
No.
clearly there's a lot for sale at different times in the area.
Sure.
And some might say that you're hogging most of it.
Well, I certainly get my fair share, but certainly never have all of it, that's for sure. But it's yeah. Look, if you're working in an area and you're putting yourself out as the expert in that area, then certainly you're going to have a fair market share, and that's what we try and do.
On the in the last 12 months, has there been any particularly memorable sales, high priced or otherwise?
Look, the last 12 months I mean, we haven't had a lot of high price sales in the area, I must admit. Previously we have had, you know, $1 million sales and that sort of thing, but over the last 12 months it's really been predominantly, you know, properties selling in that, you know, probably 400,000 to 600,000 bracket.
Mm-hmm. And are they turning over more quickly now, or has it slowed down a bit, or?
I think they're still turning over. If they're priced right to sell and they're marketed correctly, they're still selling within a reasonable time. It could be, you know, we're still selling properties after the second week on the market. Some take a bit longer.
Okay. Well, Len, obviously stick with us, because right now we're going to have a look at some of the big sales for the year, and right now we're going to have a look at what has happened at, well, our 5th placed sale.